So far, the only kinds of collection views you've built are vertically scrolling ones. Let's switch tracks and build a collection view that scrolls from left to right. Navigate to librarycontroller.swift, and at the bottom of the file, let's add all our collection view code. Like you did in the first part of this course, you're going to add the collection view layout code to a method that you can call in setup view. Now, assign the result of this method to the collection view layout property on the collection view object inside of setup view. Previously, when you created the collection view layout, you started off by defining the item size and so on. This approach allows you to define a layout that is applied to all the sections in the collection view. When using the UI collection view data source protocols, you could use index paths to customize cell size or section behavior based on which section you are in. You can do the same here as well. Here you've defined a constant named section provider that contains a closure. The arguments passed into the closure are the section index along with a layout environment. The object contains information about the layout environment at the time the collection view is set up, properties like trait collection and information about the layout container, what is the content size, and so on. You're not going to use any of these properties, but this is one way you can customize your section based on runtime information. The closure returns an instance of NS collection layout section, which is what you need to build up to. Let's start with an item size. You're going to define an item size that takes up the entire width and height of the group that contains it. Using this, you can create an item. Add a bit of padding to each item by defining a content inset. Alright, so far so good. None of this is new. The only difference so far is when working with flow layouts, you define insets using UI edge insets, whereas with compositional layouts, you use NS directional edge insets. Now that you have an item, you can create a group, more specifically a horizontal group, but we'll start first with the group size. Here, I've set the width of the group to be 60% of the parent container and the height to be 30%. With this size, you can create a horizontal group. Finally, we create a section. Sections contain a property, orthogonal scrolling behavior, which is an enum of type UI collection layout section orthogonal scrolling behavior. These type names are such a mouthful. Now, when set, this property allows you to customize the scrolling behavior of groups inside a container. It's easiest to see how the different options work once you have the collection view laid out and on screen. So for now, let's set it to its default value, continuous. Let's space things out by adding some padding. Now this adds white space inside the section, but I'd like to add some space between each section as well. When you did this previously, you had to implement a delegate method and wire up the delegate to the collection view. With compositional layouts, this is simply a property on the section. You can return this section to be used in the layout. At the bottom of the configure method, return an instance of UI collection view compositional layout that uses your section provider. Okay, let's see if that works. We'll build and run. Aha, this is sub item. Build the app to make sure you don't have any errors either. And in the next video, let's wire up the data source.